This is the new Nikon Z5II, and it's packed with lots of new features, not only for photography, but also for video. I'd love to show you what it can do. The Nikon Z5II combines a 24 megapixel full-frame imaging sensor with an X-Speed 7 processor. That 24 megapixel full-frame sensor is the same sensor that you'll find in the Nikon ZF, which means that it's a BSI or backside illuminated sensor, giving you better performance in low light at high ISO. And alongside the X-Speed 7 processor, it also improves that high ISO performance as well, meaning the Z5II is cleaner than ever before. The X-Speed 7 processor also brings with it a wealth of new features and new customization options. First of all, autofocus. The autofocus is significantly faster than that of the original Z5 and gives you lots of new options. We now have new options when it comes to subject detection. It can allow the camera to detect people, animals, birds, vehicles, and aeroplanes. And you also get new autofocusing area modes with access to 3D tracking and wide area C1 and C2, which can allow you to customize and create your own autofocusing areas. With the Z5II being such a versatile camera, it works fantastically well in landscape locations as well. I've been shooting some long exposure landscape shots of Corfe Castle behind me today. Thanks to the Z5II having the ability to shoot for even longer exposures, I can choose up to 60 seconds, 120, all the way up to 900 seconds in the camera. I got some really nice long exposure shots of the clouds moving behind the castle. I've mainly been using the dynamic range of the Z5II, especially because the castle is backlit. So we're dealing with the sun rising behind the castle and then the castle being in quite a bit of shadow from the front. So the dynamic range of the camera comes in real handy. And if you need to go a little bit further, you could use a grad filter to darken down the sky, or even an ND to allow you to shoot a long exposure when the sun starts to rise and it gets brighter. There's a couple of advantages of using a Z5II with filters. The first one is that its low light autofocus capabilities means that even when you're using a really dark filter like a 10-stop or even a 15-stop filter, the camera can still focus through that filter if you forgot to focus beforehand, which I often sometimes do. When it comes to new features, you also now have the option to use pre-release capture. This will allow the Z5 to shoot up to 30 frames per second, and it can capture 1 second's worth of images before you even press the shutter button. The Z5II also includes Nikon's Pixel Shift. Pixel Shift allows you to take multiple images to combine into one higher resolution, better image quality image. So you could take a total of 32 pictures, and they will then let you combine a 96 megapixel file. Those 32 images are taken in camera using the in-body stabilization system to move the sensor around, and then they can be combined and attached together using Nikon's own software. It can give you up to 7.5 stops of stabilization, and you can also link your image stabilization to the location of your focusing point. This can give you improved stabilization if you're focusing to the far left or to the far right of your frame. The Z5II packs in professional level video features that up until now we've only ever seen in the Z8, Z9 or Z6 III. They consist of things like the ability to shoot 10-bit with a log profile, making use of Nikon's N-Log. You can also then color grade that with LUTs directly from RED. And if you really want to, the Z5II will let you shoot raw video internally directly to your SD card. When it comes to ergonomics, the Z5II is slightly larger with a bigger grip than the original Z5, making it easier to handle, especially if you're using it with larger or heavier lenses, or just easier to grip with one hand when using it with smaller and lighter weight lenses. There's also a new screen. You now have a vari-angle flip-out display, useful if you're shooting down low for things like landscapes and architecture, or if you want to shoot up high, you can use that screen as well. The Z5II also gains the new product review mode feature that was originally seen in the Nikon Z5II. On the right-hand side of the camera, you'll find two UHS-2 SD card slots. It's a very similar button layout to those of you that have been shooting with the Z8 or with the Z6 III. There are, though, some new buttons, and it borrows the new picture control button that we've seen on the Z5II. This allows you very quick access to your picture controls, making sure that you're shooting with the right picture control at the right time to create a different scene or a different look to your image. The Nikon Z5II also supports the Nikon Imaging Cloud. For those of you that are unaware, the Imaging Cloud is a service that's free to use and allows you to just back up your images on your camera directly to the cloud once your camera is connected to Wi-Fi. When you're registered to the Nikon Imaging Cloud, your camera starts automatically uploading images as backed up for free for 30 days. They can be moved to another cloud service of your choice, and you can set up an image transfer service. As well as the image storage, Nikon Imaging Cloud gives you access to imaging recipes. These are a fantastic way of adding more creativity to your camera and allowing you to test out different styles when you're shooting. You can either create your own styles or download imaging recipes from other photographers. And it also means that you can use the Imaging Cloud to update your firmware in a much more convenient way. The Nikon Z5II is a full-frame camera that's incredibly capable in a wealth of different scenarios and photographic situations. The Nikon Z5II is a part of the Nikon Z mount system, which means it works incredibly well with all of the Z mount lenses. So if you're after a camera that gives you full-frame image quality whilst giving you professional features and ease of use, the Z5II could be a fantastic camera for you.